Hey people, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite street girl, Melissa Oti, keeping it real, keeping it locked down on the streets of the UK. You guys know I'm your errands girl, so I'm here again. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, today's content, and seriously, I'm just so excited about it because I'm going to be speaking with African dad. Like, it's such an honor to have this kind of conversation with men. I mean, matured men. Anyway, you guys, so today I'm going to be asking African men in the UK a couple of questions. You all agree with me that parenting styles is usually passed from one generation to another. I mean, in Africa, it is so not common for men to like look after their children. I mean, going to the market, cooking, cleaning, doing assignment for their children, things like that. Currently in abroad, most moms, when they give birth, their husbands will have to like massage their stomach the African way, cook for the family, clean the house, look after the newborn, do midnight shifts with the baby. Your argument that having a newborn is very challenging, and then when you have no one helping you, it's a lot. Unlike back in Africa, when you give birth, you have your mom, you have your mom-in-law, you have your sister, you just have people around. Sometimes even your neighbor is willing to help you. But here in the UK, every single person is busy, so most times parents of the newborn have to wing it the best way they can. Now, moving on, I'm going to be asking African dads how they navigate their ways around childcare, how they feel basically about cleaning, cooking, generally just doing house chores and playing a huge role in the lives of their children. You guys don't go anywhere because this promises to be fun, okay? Hey people, so I just met this handsome man. Looks like we are matched, white. What's going on?
Winter, everybody's on jumper.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So what's your name?
My name is Chucky.
Oh, hi Chucky, welcome to our channel. I have a few questions to ask you. In Africa, it's not common for men to look after children, not like the financial aspect. I mean, like being a part of their children's life, doing omugo, changing nappies. They don't like doing that. Firstly, I want to ask, how many kids do you have?
I have one.
Oh, is it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Oh, how old is he and how is he doing?
He's 2 years and he's doing all right. Quite active.
I know. I've got one active toddler, so I totally understand where you're coming from. In the UK, childcare is a very big issue. Like sometimes one has to be at home, the other one has to go to work. Like, how do you balance childcare with your wife?
We'll just have to balance our working life, so we will be able, because someone has to be around always to look after him. So I work from home most of the times because of that. So even though I was meant to be going into the office 2 times in a week, but office is quite supportive here as well. So as long as his family needs to be able to take care of your kids, so they were able to just let it be. I work from home currently. Oh,
okay, that's fantastic. That's great. Also, in Africa, where we come from, we are Africans, it's not common for men to like take care of their children, not the financial aspect. I mean, like changing nappy, being there for them, attending PTA meetings, church activities, taking your child to the church. These things are not really common, but here in the UK, you just have to do it. So how do you feel being a part of your child's life, like 100%, be there for him, changing his nappy, feeding him? Sometimes your wife might just be resting and you're there doing all the chores and all that. How do you feel about it?
I feel great about it, to be quite honest with you, because I mean, I've sunk it in my subconsciousness that my son is part of me. So, and I want to obviously always be there for him. So any spare time I have, it's for him. So outside my work life, the next thing I think is about him and his well-being. So I'm not complaining. I'm doing it and I'm quite enjoying it.
I honestly, I really like that. So do you have any words or anything to say to African men that are in Africa that are watching us right now and that feel like, oh, it's not really their thing? Some people even proudly tell you that they don't like changing nappies. So who are you leaving the nappies for? So do you have any words of advice or anything to tell them?
Yeah, I mean, your children are part of you. So, like back home in Africa, in Nigeria to be precise, you tend to get 2-3 house helps. Everybody is there. You have sometimes 4 taking care of the children. But, like, if you're not there, you're not there.
Exactly.
They can't really look after those children the way you will, because it's part of you. There are things they will overlook, but you won't overlook. Right? Like I take someone up, for example, whenever I'm with my son, I try to observe him. If there is any change, no matter how little, I can tell. Exactly. But getting all those people to come and look after them, that emotional attachment won't be there. It's not there. So there's a limit to what they can do. I mean, everybody should be trying to be part of their growing up of their children.
Very accurate. Last question is, some African men, in fact some Africans right now in the abroad, they believe that it's best to take their children, like maybe when their children attain a certain age, it's best to take them back to Africa so they can, get to know about their roots, about their culture, and still get some kind of African parenting style. What do you think about? Do you think it's a good idea?
My own idea of taking back kids as regards to identity, I want my son to know his identity. That nobody falls from heaven. You're rooted from somewhere, and the moment you start losing your identity, there are some effects. I've been here for a while, and I've come to observe that most of the black people that lost their heritage, their identity, and happen to be here thinking, when they're young, that, oh, it's my home. When they grow up, they find that it's not their home. And it's a battle trying to find out where they're actually coming from. So it's a good thing to always make sure your children knows their identity. That clarity is good. It makes them to accept whatever that comes to them here, and they will obviously know that they're just privileged to be here. Just take the opportunity, but you are actually coming from somewhere.
I absolutely agree with you. Thank you so much. Do have a great day.
You too.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Kadibia Ije.
Sorry, say that again.
Kadibia Okonkwo.
Okay, can I call you Okonkwo?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Okonkwo, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you finding the weather?
It's lovely, I must say.
Really?
Yeah. Somehow it's a bit cold, but it's lovely. You can't compare it with heat because I don't like heat.
Same here, I don't like heat too, but I find it a bit too cold, but it's fine. That's our struggle. So how many kids have you got?
I got 4 kids.
Wow, 4 kids. So how do you go be having 4 kids in the UK? How do you sort out childcare with your wife?
Honestly speaking, and it is something because having 4 kids, even 1 or 2, it's not easy. Like having them without someone to help, like house help, it's really difficult. But what can we do?
Yeah, I understand. Here in the UK, for instance, you have to support your wife.
Sure.
At the end of the day, they are your kids. So how do you feel about doing that?
Honestly speaking, it's not an easy something, but when you got yourself on it, you have to do it. If you don't, no one can do it for you. In my local adage where I come from, he said, "Miri doro neju doro wanketa." You know what that mean?
What does it mean?
Let me take it another way. Like something something that is waiting for you. If you can't do it, it still wait for you there.
Wisdom. Give us wisdom. Yes, that's true. Because who is going to do it?
No one. Let's for instance, you're having a different shift with your wife. So when your wife goes to work and you are home, one need to take care of the kids. So if you happen to be the man at home, you need to change the nappies. You need to do all the necessary things.
Honestly, I absolutely agree with you. So do you have any words for men back in Africa that feel it's not their responsibility, it's not their thing to cook, to clean, to change nappies, to bathe the kids? Like they feel like it's a woman thing. As long as they are providing, they are bringing the money, they are fine. Just do your thing. Or last they bring nanny to come and help. I find it really appalling. But what do you have to say to them in case they are watching us right now?
You mean in Africa or here?
In Africa. I mean here. Can you? Do you think it's possible for anyone to do that here? Yeah. You want to kill your wife? I mean, in Africa, of course.
Anyway, my advice to them is that they said husband and wife are one. You can't leave all the domestic work to your wife. Definitely, it will be difficult for her. And also, in other way, men should be helping their wives and make sure they do all the necessary that men to do. We Africans, we believe that the only thing meant for us just to go out there, hustle and get the money. Not just that, you need to help your wife. But my advice to them, let them just carry on. And even though that's made there, but they should also help the wife in terms of domestic work. Yeah,
thank you. Honestly, I absolutely agree with you 100%. So lastly, some men in the UK, in Europe, in abroad, they have this mentality that they have to ship their children back to Africa so they can get imbibed with the culture, so they can learn some respect, or I don't know, they just feel like raising kids abroad is not their thing. I've had conversation with some people and they say that proudly that once my child gets to secondary school age, no, I'm taking him or her to boarding school in Nigeria so that they can go and learn the culture and be decent. And I don't understand where that mentality is coming from. But do you agree with that?
Honestly, I 100% agree with that because I have my reason. Here in UK, or let me say abroad in general, mostly UK, the model of raising kids here is quite different from ours.
Yeah.
So, in a country where you cannot raise your hand on your kid, it's quite annoying.
Yes.
Sometimes the kid might misbehave, at least show her their father a little. He can't, because if you can't do things like that, you'll be dying inside, and you need to get them in a certain age, you need to get them to Africa, let them know the culture. For me, I love where I come from. I would like my kids to know the traditions and everything about where I come from.
When a stranger asks your child, KBC, like, where are you from? First to be like, my father said that I am from Nigeria.
Look at that.
That's so embarrassing. Like, no, for me, I believe in, like, from time to time, I'm going to take my kids to Nigeria. Like, we'll be spending Christmas, New Year, Easter, like festive period from time to time, probably once in every 2 years, once in a while, we just go so they can know their cousins, their aunties, and all that. Exactly. But I don't 100% believe that it's okay to just ship them to Africa so they can go and learn the culture there. While you are here, they are there. Like, we still raise bad kids in Nigeria. We raise bad kids in Africa. It's not like the way we raise children in Africa is 100% perfect. The most part, you just striking a balance, you and your wife. You have to be in the lives of your kids 100%. That's why I feel like you need to watch them grow, like be active in their life.
My thought is this: not just shipping them to Africa where they will be there for forever or something. Just for the while, you might decide your kid to get from nursery to secondary here and university level. He can go 1 or 2 courses in Nigeria. Or secondary it can happen. That doesn't mean he has to be there forever. While you are here, no family will be okay. Well, the family are being separated.
I understand. All right, thank you so much. Honestly, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that you appeared on this channel, and I've even learned a lot from you. From just this one-to-one conversation, I've learned a lot, and I'm sure that the people that are watching us right now, they've learned a whole lot from you. We are really so grateful.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Do have a great day.
Thank you for your time as well.
Hey guys, so I just met this handsome man. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Clinton Rakim Okoro.
Clinton. Let me not cut my tongue. Anyway, I'll just call you Mr. Clinton. Yes. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you.
How are you finding the cold?
The cold is very freezing. In fact, it's not to compare.
Yeah, but I guess you should be used to it by now.
I can't get used to cold. Cold is something nasty that you can't get used to it.
Very, very true. Okay, quick one. So, how many kids do you have?
Yeah, I have 5 kids.
Wow, how are they?
They are fine.
Oh, nice. See, to be honest, I feel like you're the perfect candidate for this question because 5 whole kids in the abroad. Hey, my goodness. So, how old is your first and how old is your last?
Yeah, my first daughter is 20 years now.
Wow.
And then my last son is 7 years.
Wow. Oh my God, you're so lucky. I feel like you've overcome most of the hurdles, most of the struggles. I mean, someone like me, my first child is just 2 years plus.
Well, not really, because you can't finish until you finish.
Yes, once you're a father for life.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, so quick one, right? Knowing that your first child is 20, I'm sure you have great experience when it comes to raising up a child and sorting out childcare. So how did you and your wife sort out childcare, like for your 5 kids?
Well, it was not really easy like that, but we have to do it because we are obliged to do it. Yes. And I have to help in any way I can as a father, because what makes father is not just because you have a child. You have to do a lot of job, helping your wife as well, like bathing the child, taking care of the child when she's cooking. When you come back from work, you have to do some other things. at home.
Okay, so when your child go to school and then they come back from school, like, right? So how do you sort out childcare? Because for instance, now your last child is 7 years old, so you're still into the childcare game clearly.
Exactly.
So how do you sort out childcare now with your child that is 7 years old? How do you navigate it? Like, how do you make sure that there's somebody that is with him? Because clearly someone has to be with him. You can't leave him alone and then you go to work and then your wife go to work. It's not done. So how do you handle it?
No, really, we share the job. The way it can be easier for each other. So my wife stay back in the morning and take him to school, and when I come back, I pick him up. We have to schedule our job so that I can suit our child.
Oh, that's so nice. It comes to doing house chores, like you mentioned, cooking, cleaning, things like that. It's not really common back in Africa, right? They believe that, oh, it's a woman thing. So do you have a word for them, people that have that mentality or prefer not to support their wife because they believe that it's not their thing?
This life doesn't depend on one person. Since you are a couple, you have to share things so that it will be easier for each other. And each one will be happy because you can't put, this is not the days you say wife have to do everything. We have to share part of the job at home. After job, you come back, you see your wife is cooking, you look after the child. If you need to shower, you take him to shower while your wife is preparing food. Before you know it, everything is done.
Exactly.
Many of my friends, they used to ask me, guy, leave your wife, come on, let's go and watch football. I say, it's not like that. We're married for life. So I can't leave my wife. Ball is not going to give me what my house is going to give me. So we need to support our wife in everything we are doing so that they will be happy and you will be happy as well. Because if your wife is not happy, equally you are not happy.
Very true. Like, family is everything. So lastly, some persons believe that they need to ship their children to Africa so they can get imbibed with their culture, like with African culture. They don't believe in raising their kids abroad. Like, when their kids get to a certain age, they ship them over to Africa to boarding school. What do you have to say about that?
It's not for you to take your child that you born here. The system is here. Really, they need to know African system as well, but not really you take them out of where they were born and they take them to Africa because you want to put them in subjection of the way Africa treat their child. It doesn't make that child to be a good child. If you want to take your child to Africa, you make sure you yourself, you go there and make sure you train he or her how she will behave or what she should do. But the best way is you start teaching your children your language. Your language is the first thing you have to teach your children here in Europe. When you want to take them to Africa, you make sure you be there and tell them what is right and what is wrong. They will learn it fast, more than even we adults.
Very, very true. Thank you so much for gracing our channel and do have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Hey people, so I just met this handsome young dad. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Onome.
Oh, hi Onome, how are you doing today?
Fine, apart from the cold.
I know, right? It's freezing. Okay, so Onome, how many kids have you got?
Got 2 kids at the moment, that live with me and my wife.
Oh, that's so nice. How are they doing?
You're fine?
Is your wife working?
Oh, yeah, my wife, she's working, she's a nurse, yeah.
Oh, great. You guys are packing all the money in this country. Anyway, how do you guys cope with childcare? Apparently, you're working, she's working, and you've got 2 kids, so how do you cope?
At the moment, she's on maternity leave, so I just work and I go to uni, so it's very, very difficult, because I go to uni from Monday to Friday, right? So I'm doing my PhD, so I'm always at uni from Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, so that means she have to be in the house by herself with
The kids.
and I just stay in the house because I'll be at uni. When I come back, I do help at night, like 6 o'clock when I come back, I help her, the kids and all that. But it's tough, to be honest. And weekend as well, I go to work, so she have to be on her own. So
Okay, Onome. So in Africa, it's not common for men to, I don't use the word look after children. They look after their children, their kids, but they don't do like house chores. Most of them, they don't do like house chores, like cook, change nappies. Like, here in the UK, you might have a baby and you won't have any help. You and your wife will have to wing it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you feel doing it? Because clearly you've got a baby, and I'm sure you change nappy. I'm sure you bathe baby. I'm sure you cook, you clean. You have to, because apparently you've got 2 kids and a wife who needs to rest from time to time. So how do you feel about doing that?
For me, I think I enjoy like looking after my baby myself, understand it, because it brings that closeness and with back home, like people, most men obviously, they have family members coming to help and they hardly do anything. Yeah, but here in the UK, oh, you have to do it yourself, and I find it very very interesting.
Oh, so nice. You guys, sure you can hear him. It's interesting when you do this with your wife. Trust me, regardless of where you are, just do it. And they're your kids. You have to be like a huge part of their life. Also, some African men abroad, I don't want to use just the UK, believe that raising a child in Africa is better than raising a child in the Western world. For me, I don't believe in that, but some persons believe in that. What do you have to say about it?
To be honest, I would say it's the upbringing, right? Obviously, here in the UK, we're all busy, right? But when it comes to like the child, the child have to like trust you and all that. So if you trust your child and your child trusts, I don't think you have any problem. Yeah, but sending your child back home, I don't think is the right thing to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, lastly, what do you have to say to African men that are watching us right now in Africa? Even in this abroad, there are some African men that still don't support their wives. You know, it's possible. So what do you have to say to African men who believe that it's a woman thing to do chores, to raise their children, to change nappies, to do homework? What do you have to say to them? Like, we are not judging you guys, but we just hope that you will to hear from your fellow man, okay?
For me, I think it's both parties. Yeah, you just need to support your wife. If your wife is struggling, you just need to support. Yeah, so I don't think it's okay for you to leave it for one party to do. Yeah, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Onome. And please, my regards to your wife and your beautiful kids.
All right.
All right. Do have a great day.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Bye. You guys, I deeply apologize for the poor audio. I don't know. My mic suddenly went off without me knowing. One of the tales of being a content creator. Anyway, you guys, I feel so honored to have spoken to these men with wisdom. You know, with age comes wisdom, and to be very honest, these men, they are very smart, they are intelligent, they are wise, and I have learned a whole lot from them. I'm sure you've learned a lot from them as well. So you guys, show me your thoughts about this video in the comment section. I hope you absolutely enjoyed this content, even though the code is coding, but I'm your errand girl, you know. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and of course I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.